Stand by. Oh, what's up, smarty people? It's KeysDAN with RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live and in living color from the Radio What studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Smarter? It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where do I always send you? DJLittleRock.com. One more time, DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote, and maybe you can have me at your next event. You know I like to party with the people. The people need to be entertained. Are you not entertained? Hey, this week's shows, Friday night is my one public show. I do private events on the weekends, but my one public show is out on Friday night at the Rab in Convoy, Arkansas. The Video Dance Party Karaoke Jam. Yes, I said karaoke. You're the stars of the show. Friday night at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas. It's the Video Dance Party Karaoke Jam. It starts at 8 p.m. and it goes until 12:30 in the AM. And they got a full bar. The kitchen's open. Pool tables. Pool tournament Friday nights. Come check it out. If you're anywhere in the Conway, Arkansas area, come join me. Won't you join me at the Rab, Conway, Arkansas. 8 p.m. till 12:30 in the AM. Also, if you'd like to tell your story or hear the stories of others, I encourage you to check out my other podcast. It's called What Makes You Famous. Find it everywhere using the hashtag What Makes You Famous. Now, on with the show. Today on the program, 10 things you need to know today for Sunday, February 20th, 2022. 10 things you need to know today. Number 1, Biden to convene National Security Council to discuss Ukraine crisis. President Biden is scheduled to meet with National Security Council on Sunday to discuss the situation on the Ukrainian border. Biden said Friday that he is, quote, convinced, end quote, Russian President Vladimir Putin has made up his mind to invade Ukraine. Russian-backed separatists in eastern Ukraine have stepped up artillery. Let's try that again. Artillery, I know it's not funny. Artillery attacks against government forces and have begun evacuating women and children. Russian forces are conducting large-scale military exercises, including test-firing nuclear-capable ballistic and cruise missiles. Current estimates place the number of Russian troops positioned along the Ukraine's border at up to 190,000. This is according to the Washington Post and the New York Times. Number 2, 2022 Olympic Games conclude after 15 days of competition. The 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics close Sunday after 15 days of competition. The closing ceremony featured children with illuminated snowflakes performing a loosely choreographed dance to an arrangement of, quote, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, end quote, followed by the parade of flags set to the arrangement of Beethoven's, quote, Ode to Joy, end quote. Norway topped the medal table with 16 gold medals, followed by Germany with 12 and China with 9. The U.S. came in fourth with 8 gold medals. American athletes also brought home 10 silver medals and 7 bronzes. Paris will host the 2024 Summer Olympics. The 2026 Winter Games will be held in the Italian cities of Milan and Cortina d'Ampezzo. This is according to NBC and the National Olympic Committee. Number 3, Queen Elizabeth II tests positive for COVID-19. Queen Elizabeth II, 95 years old, has tested positive for COVID-19, Buckingham Palace announced Sunday. She is reportedly experiencing, quote, mild cold-like symptoms, end quote, but expects to be able to continue performing, quote, light duties, end quote, during the coming week. The Queen may have contracted the virus from her eldest son and heir, Prince Charles, who tested positive earlier this month. The Queen is fully vaccinated. On February 6th, Elizabeth marked 70 years on the throne. This is according to BBC and The Guardian. Number 4, Freedom Convoy Police arrest at least 170 protesters and tow more than 50 vehicles in Ottawa. Canadian police took aggressive actions over the weekend to break up the Freedom Convoy protests that have occupied downtown Ottawa for 3 weeks. Police arrested at least 170 people on Friday and Saturday and towed more than 50 vehicles. Police used batons and, quote, chemical irritants, end quote, against protesters who they described as, quote, aggressive and assaultive, end quote, and accused of attempting to use children to shield themselves from police. Videos show some demonstrators being trampled by police horses. One protester reportedly threw a bicycle at a police horse. Another was arrested after allegedly launching a gas canister. This is according to CNN and USA Today. Number 5, Trump courses could host new Saudi-backed golf league. Former President Donald Trump's company is reportedly working on a deal with the new Saudi-backed golf league that would make at least 2 of Trump's courses located in Doral, Florida, and Bedminster, New Jersey, into stops on the tour. The PGA Tour pulled a tournament from Doral during Trump's 2016 presidential campaign and another from Bedminster after the January 6th Capitol riot. The new league, overseen by the Saudi-funded LIV Golf Investments, has been working to recruit PGA players, including Phil Mickelson. Mickelson reportedly said in an interview that despite Saudi Arabia's, quote, horrible record on human rights, end quote, he views the new league as, quote, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, end quote. This is according to the Washington Post and Fox News. Number 6, Epstein associate found dead in jail while awaiting trial for raping minors. Former French modeling agent and Jeffrey Epstein associate Jean-Luc Brunel was found dead in his Paris jail cell during the night, a spokesman for the city's prosecutor said Saturday. Brunel, 75, had been charged with raping minors over the age of 15, France's age of consent, and with sexual harassment. He was also suspected of procuring young women for Epstein's sex trafficking ring. The prosecutor said Brunel was found hanging and that his death appeared to be a suicide. According to some sources, no cameras recorded Brunel's death. This is according to the New York Times and the Miami Herald. Number 7, Americans could see increased energy cost if Russia invades Ukraine, Harris says. Vice President Kamala Harris told reporters Sunday that if Russia invades Ukraine, Americans may have to, quote, put ourselves out there in a way that, quote, could result in increased energy costs. She added that the administration is, quote, taking very specific steps to mitigate what the cost might be, end quote. Harris met with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky at the Munich Security Conference on Saturday. Zelensky told Harris through an interpreter that he is grateful for American support and that, quote, the only thing we want is to have peace, end quote. In a speech delivered the same day, Harris warned the U.S. and NATO would respond to a Russian invasion of Ukraine with, quote, far-reaching financial sanctions and export controls, end quote. This is according to Bloomberg and The Week. Number 8, Nepali police clash with rioters over U.S.-funded infrastructure project. Hundreds of protesters clashed with riot police outside of Nepal's parliament as lawmakers debated a $500 million aid grant from the United States. Protesters rushed police barricades and hurled stones at officers. Police responded with batons, tear gas, and water cannons. The grant would fund a construction of a 187-mile electricity transmission line and improve roads in the South Asian country. Minister for Communication and Information Technology, Jayendra Karki, said the infrastructure program would benefit 24 million of Nepal's 30 million people. Two communist parties, which are part of the governing coalition, opposed the deal, claiming that the project will erode Nepal's sovereignty. This is according to Reuters and the Associated Press. Number 9, Australia welcomes tourists after nearly 2 years of closed borders. Australia reopened its borders to tourists on Monday after nearly 2 years of stringent travel restrictions that earned it the nickname, quote, Fortress Australia, end quote. Prime Minister Scott Morrison said Sunday that 56 international flights were expected to land at Australian airports in the next 24 hours. Quote, we are going from COVID cautious to COVID confident when it comes to travel, end quote, he said. Before the pandemic, Australia's tourism industry was growing at a rate nearly double that of overall GDP growth. But many in the industry worry that it will take a long time for tourism to return to pre-COVID levels. Tourists who have received 2 vaccine doses will not need to quarantine. This is according to The Guardian and Reuters. Number 10, 2022 Olympics. U.S. figure skaters won't receive medals until doping investigation concludes. The Court of Arbitration for Sports announced Sunday in Beijing that the U.S. Olympic figure skating team will not receive their medals until a doping investigation into Russian skater Kamila Valieva has concluded. The CAS panel, which initially ruled Monday that no medals would be awarded for events in which Valieva finished in the top 3, rejected the Americans' appeal after meeting Saturday evening. It may take months or years for the investigation to reach its conclusion. Only then will the 9 Americans who finished second in the February 7th team event receive their medals. If the Russian team is disqualified, the U.S. will move up to 3rd place on the medal table. This is according to ESPN and The Week. That's 10 things you need to know today for Sunday, February 20th, 2022. This has been What Makes You Smarter. Just trying to fill my head with knowledge, make sure that I know the news of today. If you'd like to take the journey with me, I encourage you to subscribe, like, share this feed, comment. I like comments. I like responding to comments. Be nice. But if I could do something a little bit better, let me know. I know I stumble here and there, but hey, I'm just reading the news for you and for myself as well. Also, if you'd like to tell your story or hear the stories of others, I encourage you to check out my other podcast. It's called What Makes You Famous. Find it everywhere using the hashtag What Makes You Famous. That's it for this edition of What Makes You Smarter. It's KeysDAN, RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com. Peace. I'm out of here.